Greetings, Sir Shrimpington here. All right, I just want to go through the patch notes for September 15th, 2025. There's an aeroplane flying over my house. It's been flying for it will not stop. So I just decided to record. If you can hear it, I'm really sorry. Okay, so I've already gone through and read them, just so I have a little idea. Some of the things in here I don't fully understand, but most of them make sense. So let's go through it. 1. Multi-account household exemptions. Players can now submit requests to receive multi-account household exemptions, allowing them to create additional Outlands IDs for other members of their household. So for those of you that didn't know before, you can only have one account in your house. So like if you have a girlfriend and she wants to play, or a boyfriend and they want to play, or your dad wants to play, whatever, anyone else that lives in your house, if they want to play, they're on the same IP as you, they weren't allowed to create a new account. They're now allowing this, but you have to request the second account to be made through the Discord. So they do say if any player is found to be abusing any mechanic, creating multiple accounts and abusing mechanics, it's an immediate ban to all accounts associated. So don't mess about. All right, so the original ID is going to be known as the primary Outlands ID and will have no restrictions. However, the secondary IDs that you want to create using this new system will not be allowed to do any harvesting actions that require a capture, which means that you can fish with a rod on land on secondary accounts. Unlimited raw fish. You also cannot accept or participate in society jobs, so no harvesting, no societies, and you cannot take ownership of any standard house or houseboat, but you can have a rental room on the secondary account. So it's quite forgiving. You can make another ID. You just can't harvest on it, use society jobs, or have a house on that ID. But you can do everything else in the game. So that's pretty good. Better than before, where you couldn't have an ID at all because people were abusing it. When a player attempts to perform an action restricted, you will get a message which says only accounts that are the primary account can do it. Pretty standard stuff. So to apply for the exemption, you have to go onto the Discord, visit the support channel, and create a ticket, and then, it'll all make sense. So that's pretty good. That's a really nice update. So you can play with your friends now in the same house. They just have a little bit of restrictions. But I mean, most people don't harvest anyway, so let's be honest. All right, moving on. Region restrictions, lockouts. So I've read this bit. I don't fully understand it. So if anyone does fully understand what this means, please comment below. Let us all know. So region restrictions, lockouts, applied to players, such as those for committing murders in different dungeons, are now enforced on an Outlands ID basis for players. So it's going to be enforced across your entire ID instead of, I assume before it was enforced on individual characters. But I don't fully understand what a region restriction lockout is. I think this is to do with PvP, which I don't do. So, well, I haven't done yet. Wink, wink. But yeah. So if you know what this is, let us know. Player vendor purchases. This is a big one. The purchase sent to bank option for buying items from player vendors now adds an additional 2% fee. It was previously 5%. So when you buy something from a vendor and you send it to your bank instead of placing it in your backpack, you're now paying less money for that. That's very, very nice. I never used to use the send to bank option because I'm really cheap. So I didn't want to spend the extra money. But this extra fee being lowered is nice. Additionally, the maximum fee amount is now 25,000 gold, where before there was no limit. It would just be 5% bonus and it would just skyrocket. So now the most you'll pay extra to send it to the bank is 25k, and you're only going to be paying 2% bonus on the items that you're buying. Really, really nice update. Just quality of life, lets you send things to the bank. This is basically a nerf to thieves that steal from vendor purchasers, essentially. All right. Redline, the system that I'm nowhere near. I'm currently on 6 links. Fixed several issues where bonuses to experience were not properly applied to Redline. Resetting or activating upgrades in the Redline menu will now automatically refresh any open menus the player has for Aspect, Mastery, Train, Echoes. This is just quality of life. Quite nice. And also a bug fix. All right, Echoes. Using an Echo will now automatically refresh any open menus. So it's the same as the Redline update. When players use an Echo and have any aspect tiers of 16 or higher, It will only lower their aspect active tier levels if the active tier level is above the max allowed based on the Echo's Redline upgrades. Previously, it would always reset to level 15 regardless. So basically, this is just when you echo, your Redline won't just like default to 15. It's going to stay at the aspect that it should be at, right? From what I understand. I don't use the Redline system. Again, comment below if you understand these things that are a lot more end game. Okay. Apologies, I'm still recovering from a cold. All right, this one's pretty simple. If a player has double magic reflect stored for their character, using an echo will recheck the application of magic effect and adjust it based on the inscription of the new echo. So basically, if you had inscription at like level 120 and you use magic reflect, you get a bonus, right? You get a bonus to your magic reflect. Now, it will check if your new echo has the inscription level, and then it will reapply the magic effect reflect effect, magic reflect effect, based on your new inscription level. So you can't be on a 120 inscription echo, cast magic reflect, change echo, and keep the 120 inscription magic reflect. It's basically just correcting a bug that I'm sure people were definitely 100% abusing. Okay. Mastery chains. Fixed an issue that was causing the mastery chain link bonuses to healing and veterinary skill to sometimes not apply correctly. So basically, if you were using mastery chain link bonuses to healing and vet skill, you probably weren't getting the full bonus, but now you will. Bug fix. Let's go. Melee poison sting. Fixed an issue where the chance for a melee poison sting was not correctly factoring in effective alchemy skill. So again, you weren't getting your full bonuses, now you will. Very good. Bug fixes. All right, parties. Players who are in a party with share experience enabled, but dead at the time of a creature's death, will now receive experience credit, but they must be within 50 tiles of the creature. So if you were fighting a creature, you're in a party, you died, previously you wouldn't get XP because you're dead. Now you will, as long as you stay nearby. That's good. Town vendors. This is a great update. Town vendors will now carry a larger supply of tools, fruits, vegetables, and certain crafting ingredients, such as beeswax. This is great, because now people won't be fighting so much. This is a suffering from success problem. There are so many players in Outlands that we need more stuff in the vendors, and this is a great way of doing it. It doesn't look like they've added increase to like magic reagents. I'd also like to see in game if they've increased crafting ingredients such as blank scrolls for inscribing and things like that. I'll have a look. We'll see. But this seems like a good positive update. Suffering from success. All right, vendors. The vendors menu will now show all rental vendors related to a player's Outlands ID. So when I play on my alt, I have a harvesting alt. I can't see my vendor now because my vendor's on my main. But now I can by typing vendor. So we'll see how that works, whether I'll be able to like collect gold from the vendor and all this other stuff as well. Seems like that's the case. So you can now do everything for your vendor on any character on your Outlands ID. That's super good. I don't just have to switch to my main every time I want to do my vendor. Sweet. Polymorph / disguise kit. Temporary changes to gender through mechanics such as the disguise kits or polymorph-like effects will no longer flag the player as grey. This is something we've talked about on stream a lot because I've been farming the illusionist achievement where you have to use a bunch of disguise kits, and it always flags you grey when you switch to female. So I guess that this has now changed because my character's male. So that's nice. I'd also like to see it so that when you use the disguise kit or polymorph, it doesn't remove the... right now, when you switch, if you have a dyed beard, it will remove the dye when you switch back to your gender. It'd be nice if they fix that too. Because right now, my beard dye. My beard dye! Keeps getting removed. Alright. That's a good update. Nice. No more going grey. Rental rooms. Fixed an issue where the visit other rooms list for rental rooms / innkeepers would sometimes still display players who no longer have rental rooms. Cool, just a bug fix. Any trash barrels restyle deeds applied to a rental room will now get converted into a deed and placed in the player's bank box when the contract is ended. So this seems like a good change, like maybe these weren't getting converted to deeds and giving back to the player, but now they are. So these just seem like bug fixes. Easy stuff. Atlases. Fixed an issue where custom locations unlocked for atlases, so that's for camping, for hiking, when you use camping and cartography, would sometimes not appear for other characters on accounts or become inaccessible. So just a bug fix for custom hiking locations. Nice. Neat. Houses. Players attempting to move or teleport into a house they are banned from will no longer warp them to the house's ban location and simply prevent them from entering it. Okay? So you're just not going to be sent to a ban location. You're just going to not be allowed to enter the house. Guilds. If a house has a guild affiliation and the owner of the house no longer has any players in that guild, the house will no longer be affiliated with that guild. Cool. That's, housing and guild stuff. Easy stuff. Creatures. Players will no longer be able to ban creatures from houses. I didn't even know you could do this. Attempting to ban a creature from a house will eject it. Any existing creature entries in the ban list will be cleared when the patch goes live. So that's just like, a bit of cleanup for this new update. So you can't ban NPC creatures. What a weird fix. What a weird little thing. All right. For sale. When players place a house for sale or update the price of a house for sale, the system message they receive will now include the new price amount. So players can verify this in their journal. So basically it's just the game will now confirm more that you've set it to a certain price. So that's nice. Quality of life. Omni Realm Gates. I've not done any bosses. The 5-minute cooldown for an Omni Realm Gate is now resolved on an Outlands ID basis rather than per character. So it seems like the 5-minute cooldown will be across your entire account rather than per character. I'm guessing before you could switch character and then use the gate again. I'm not really sure. I don't do Omni stuff. Let me know below. Summoning. This is a funny one. The Vampire Thrall Necromancy summon will now have its name changed to just a vampire. This is to avoid speech detection overlaps with the all release and all whatever commands. So like a little bug fix for the Vampire Thrall. I thought that was funny. Strangelands update. Let's go. Battle mages and sorcerers will no longer have magic spellbooks as part of their loot tables. Only arcane staves. So you won't be dropping magic spellbooks when you die. Or unless this is like an NPC battle mage and sorcerer. But yeah, either way. I mean, yeah, whatever. Fixed an issue where players entering Strangelands whilst wearing tattoos would sometimes exit the event with unmovable tattoo items in their backpack. What a weird bug, but it's been fixed. So if you have tattoos, you are free to do Strangelands now. No more bugs. All right, some ghost updates for those of you that die on occasion. We all die on occasion. Fixed several issues where visibility for ghost players seeing living players was handled incorrectly and vice versa. So if you were dead, you wouldn't see alive players properly, or they wouldn't see you properly, or whatever, or you would see them, you shouldn't be able to, or whatever else was happening. There's been some issues with that fix. So being dead should now be less buggy, basically. This is a big bug patch, lots of bug fixes. Let's go. All right, bracket pouch. The bracket pouch command no longer works if you're dead. Help stuck. Players on Shelter Island who have not yet selected a starting character template will no longer be able to use the help stuck feature to teleport. So you can go into help, you can go into in-game help, and there's a stuck option that when you're stuck in the game, you click it and it'll teleport you. You can only use once an hour. It has a major cooldown. I've been told in my chat from Twitch that it kills you when you use it, so it's not abusable. But I've never tried it because they said it kills you and it scared me, so I haven't clicked the button. But now you can't do it if you haven't clicked a character template, which I'm guessing is a little bug fix. Ships. Fixed an issue where players who were killed at sea and warped to land would sometimes have party features disabled remain in place while on land. So a little bug fix for ship players if you die on your ship. Explosion potions. This one's weird. Fixed a rare issue where if the server goes down because of a crash or a patch, while a player has an explosion potion with an active throwing timer sitting in their backpack, it would become stuck in their backpack. So they fixed a bug where if the server went down as you used a potion, it would bug out. They've fixed it. But this next one's weird. Explosion potions stuck to tamed or summoned followers will now damage them. Why was that not already the case? What were people doing? Sending in their followers with potions on them and just kamikazing, but they weren't taking any damage? I don't really understand. This is a weird one. So I guess you can now use explosion potions on other people's followers and tames if you're in PvP and all that stuff. It will now do damage. Well done. Very good. Codex menus. Fixed a bug where players could sometimes navigate to a negative page while using Razor scripts and navigating codexes. So it's a bug fix. No, very nice. Wardrobe. The orc mask and tribal mask can now be added to the wardrobe. Very good. Good for a little. Good for the orc role players. I've seen you in dungeons. Give shiny. Ship upgrade deed. Ship paint deed. Fixed a number of ship upgrade deeds and ship paint deeds that had incorrect graphics. It seems like they've been doing a lot of work on ships lately. The last patch was entirely spyglasses. This patch has some ship stuff in it. They've been doing the, I forget what it's called. They added like a bunch of ship updates to make solo sailing better. It seems like ships are getting a lot of work lately. It's nice. Dungeon flashpoints. I've never done these. I'm not sure what they are. Dead players will now be allowed to exit dungeon flashpoint zones through golden moon gates. So it seems like a quality of life. I guess you couldn't leave. If you're just dead, you're just stuck. But now you're not stuck. Well done. All right, trophy hutch, Prevelia trunk. Fixed an issue where locked down items being added to a trophy hutch or Prevelia trunk would stay locked down when withdrawn. So just a little bug fix, basically. This is a nice one for SOS and MIBs. They will no longer occur within world wrap areas at the west and east edges of the map or within coastal guard zones. So this, I think from the screenshot, you can see that he's at Cambria dock and he's right inside the guard zone. He's right next to the city. And I think it's basically saying that SOS and messaging bottles will no longer spawn at these locations. And then they won't occur within world wrap areas. So world wrap, I think when you're sailing, if you sail off the edge of the world, which we tested on stream, very fun, you actually just warp to the opposite side of the planet. And I think it's saying that the SOS will no longer appear inside of where that wrap happens. So there's no, it's not like in an area you can't really get to because you automatically teleport to the other side of the planet. Very cool though. Check it out. Check out sailing if you haven't sailed yet. It's good content. Existing SOS and messaging bottle locations that are in these locations that they've fixed will just automatically be changed. So basically, if you already have a MIB or an SOS, it will automatically update for this new update. So that's nice. And last but not least, tailoring. Fixed an issue where crafted cestus and fist blade, so punch weapons, would not adopt master crafted status. So that's good. Can you imagine crafting something you don't get master crafted? Well, now you will. So very good. And that is the patch notes for September 15th, 2025. I got to say, the multi-account household update is very, very nice. Being able to have more than one account. Like if my girlfriend wants to play now, she can. We can make her an account. She won't be able to do any logging, but I don't think she really cares about that. I love the player vendor purchase update. Less money to send things to bank. That's just incredible. I don't know anything about redlines and stuff. This is all kind of quality of life and bug fixes. Town vendors having more supply of tools and fruits and vegetables and crafting ingredients. I'd love to see. It would have been really nice if they gave a list here of exactly which crafting ingredients, because I want to know if it's like blank scrolls or like for inscribers or blank maps for cartographers and things like that. I don't know. But it just says beeswax. So visit your local beeswax salesman. You will be able to get lots. Being able to access vendors from any character on your account, super nice quality of life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Some Strangelands updates. It was a good little update. So what do you think of this update? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this kind of video, if you like this kind of content, a little bit more casual, just me reading out the patch notes, you can let me know that by hitting the like button. It would really help me out. And then I can see if you want me to keep doing these videos. And yeah, thanks for watching and catch you later.